Hello and welcome back to my next paramotor related video. As you can see, I'm back indoors, back in the dojo with the wing laid out on the ground. I've had the wing a couple of months now, but due to UK terrible weather, I've not had a chance to even fly it yet. So I thought I'd bring it in, and I'm today going to attach the ALC, which are the tip steering toggles, and release the trimmers on this wing fully. Now Dudek have got a really good video on YouTube for the first version of the Universal wing, so I'd highly encourage you to watch that if you're going to do this. But there are some differences between the first Universal and the 1.1, which is why I'm going to record this video now. So I'm sort of using their first video and also the PDF manual which is on their site for doing this, and I'm going to just try and follow along with those, and I'll record what I do. Hopefully it'll make it a bit easier for anyone else doing this to the Universal 1.1. So let's get going then. So I've laid the wing out, laid the risers out, put them sideways. So as you can see, we've got the A's on this side, down to the D's, and the brake handles on this side. Now I've partially released the trimmers on this already. So this is what they class as the half trimmer setup. That would be fine to fly without the tip steering toggles, but as I'm going to add the tip steering toggles today, I'm going to release the trimmers fully. So that's the first job I'm going to do. So let's get the camera set up and we'll release the trimmers. Okay, so as you can see, we've got the trimmers half released, and they give us this much travel at the moment. Now to release them fully, you're going to need a spanner. This is a bit overkill, but I think it's probably either a 6 or 7 mil nut, and the smallest I'd got with me was an 8 mil spanner, so this is a bit overkill for this, but it will do the job nicely. So first thing to do, release this nut on the D-ring, and we're going to remove the trimmer. Okay, so we can then remove this. You can see here we've got now the full range of movement. Okay, so what we're going to do is push this buckle through. Where am I going with that? Okay, that's it. So we've got that. Got this buckle all the way down at the bottom. Then I believe we've passed this through just to keep it out of the way. And then this goes back through. And do this nut back up. I'll tighten that in a moment, but let's have a look now. Why does that give us not any more travel? What have I done? This is the first time you'll see that it is actually a bit different from the first version of the Universal, because that has a different setup. So what do I need to do here? To release that somehow. That should give me all the way up to there. Unless that's it, that could be it, just release it. Okay, yeah, that is it. So it doesn't need to go back through there at all. So that handle just stays out the way. Okay, so that is our full range of travel. Then we've got the handle here to trim it all the way back into a slow trim. And there's our release. So this is where it's different to the first version of the Universal. You actually tuck this over and you connect it back into this D-ring. So that is our full range of travel. And trim back in. Okay, so let's do this nut back up. would have been better with a small spanner. Obviously make sure if you're doing the same sort of thing as me, don't over tighten these nuts. Okay, so that is first job done, that getting thrown to one side, and we've got fully trimmed in. As you can see, the risers are pretty much all level, and then if we go to fully fast trim, you can see there the angle of attack changes quite a lot. Okay, so we've got a good range of trim there. Okay, next job. Okay, so the next job is to look at attaching these ALC lines. Now, they come packed away, hopefully in your bag. They do come with a spanner as well for these nuts, but yeah, good luck trying to get them undone with that. So the reason we're doing this all at the same time is you can release the trimmers to halfway and still fly it on the brakes, but if you release the trimmers fully, you need the tip steering lines in place because you shouldn't be using the main brake lines when the wing is fully trimmed out. Okay, so what we've got here is we've got a pair of tip steering brake handles, and we have our lines. Okay, so just check as well, this is for a 23. Okay, so let's undo this. Okay, so I'm going to lay this out and separate them into one line for each side of the wing. Let's get rid of one side. Okay, so I've laid this out sideways, so we've got the brake line which travels all the way up the wing. So I'm going to take you to that side now. So as you can see, go all the way up here, and then right on the edge of the wing where the brake line splits, what you can see is where the green comes in, there's actually a yellow marker on it. So that yellow marker is where you attach the tip steering line to. So if you find that, if you look on the wing, it's the very end set of brake lines, and there's 1, 2, 3 lines from that. So that's the one we're going to attach to now. I'm just going to grab the line and set up, and we'll tie it round. Okay, so we're going to grab this line, and you can see the yellow marker on it. What I'm going to do is just open the line up slightly, so we've got a hole in the middle there. I'm going to grab my tip steering line, pass that through, and then grab the other end of the tip steering line. Both ends are a loop, so it doesn't matter which way around you go. Pass that through and pull the whole line through, and tighten it all the way down. Okay, so you can see that is looped round. This is looped round still. I'm going to tighten that back up. So everything is tight. So there we now have our main line and our tip steering line at the point where it splits off at the edge of the wing. Okay, so we've attached the ALC line at the canopy end. So now we've got this open end which I've brought back down to the risers. Now if you look on the D's, on the blue, there's this buckle here and a metal ring. Okay, so we're going to bring the ALC line down from the wing and through here. So we'll leave that for a moment. So that's ready to connect up. We've then got these magnets that come with it. So we've got to attach these. This is for the ALC brakes to attach to. Now, from the attachment point, if we look up to where the speed bar attachments are, so there's the speed bar hook, and we've got this split into two just here. just below this metal ring, which is where the ALC line is going to come through. So we're going to attach the magnet onto this part here. So all I'm going to do is fold that back around. We want to get it as ideally as tight as we can. So just fold that back around onto there and fold it round. It's really good quality Velcro, so that's once that's on, that's going to be stuck. And as you can see, your brake toggles will just snap onto those. Okay, let's look at the next part. Okay, so next part then, so we've got the magnet attached, we've got the ALC line coming down through the ring on the D-riser. Let's carry this ALC through then. So from where it's coming through this D-ring, carry on passing it through the ring that's next to the buckle for the trimmers, and then around and through this ring that's on the B's, and then lastly through the ring that's next to the magnet that you've just attached. So now we've got our path for our ALC line up, down, and then lastly up through the D's and off to the wing. Then from here we've got our brake toggle. We can pass it through the metal ring. Let's pull a bit through so we've got some to work with. Pass it through the ring on the brake toggle, and then take this end of the brake toggle, pass that through the ALC line, and then we're going to pass the whole of the brake handle through this ring. It's a bit fiddly because it's quite a tight fit through there, but it does go through, I'm sure. So that's half of it through. And there we go. Okay, so that's past that all the way through, and then you can see, pull that tight. That's our connection to the brake handle. Okay, so then if I pull the ALC line back through, we can clip the handle back onto the magnet, and we're left with just this loose line, which is effectively your anchor point, I suppose, for the brake handle. And we're back to this same D-ring that I tightened up earlier, so I'm going to loosen that back off again. Actually, I think now that I've done this, or now that I'm into doing this, I think it's probably slightly easier than the first version of the Universal. When you watch Dudek's video of the Universal, it makes it look quite simple, but when you look at the PDF manual, without it being sort of moving images and just going by still pictures, it looks a bit daunting at first, but it's actually not as bad as it looks at all. Okay, so we've got this D-ring open, pass the hoop through there, and just do it back up. Okay, and there we have it. So, if I trim this all the way back in, you can see how this works now. We've got trimmed in, risers all level, and if I trim all the way out, you can see the rear risers go much further up, and then we've got our tip steering brake line to do steering when it's trimmed all the way out. Let's trim that back in so I don't forget. Okay, that is one side done. I'm not going to bother showing the other side, it's just exactly the opposite. But hopefully you get on well with that. Any questions, then post them in the comments and I'll hopefully answer them.